just one of those things where if anything at all goes wrong, I'm probably going to find a way to blame myself for it.
It's raining and pretty cold today. This rain's supposed to turn to snow later, but I don't think anything's going to stick. But I thought I would go ahead and check on our sap flow. Not really expecting much with it being so cold. Yeah, doesn't look like there's going to be anything to collect, so go back here and check on the chickens. Hi, Oni. Oh, shit. Oh, no. What happened? Get away from him. What happened? Oh, no, 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 no. Come on. Come on, little girl. Move. I don't know. He was just laying in the compost. Like, half that.
So the little chicken Finn that I had brought inside during the winter storm, and then I recently brought back inside because the chickens were pecking at his feet. I had reintegrated him with the flock again several days ago, and I just found him outside looking like he was dead, laying in the compost pile all wet and hypothermic. And when Glenn and I saw him, we both thought that he was a goner. I threw him in the shower to wash off all the compost and to try to get his body temperature back up. And I could not believe it when the little guy started moving his head and opening his eyes. So, we're back at square one with this little guy. He just could not catch a break. Stay with me, buddy. Snuggle up. The other thing is I did find a lot more mites on him, which is beyond frustrating because I have been fighting these mites for like, I don't know, months. And it always just feels like I'm just barely treading water with keeping them at bay. I've tried spinosad, permethrin, and at this point I don't know what else to do. And these mites, I'm totally convinced now, is what is killing Finn ultimately. He has them so bad, and it was so hard to like tell all where they were because his feathers are just so thick. And the problem with the spray treatments, and even the same thing would go for doing like the powder treatment, is getting it to the skin through all those feathers. And any spot that you miss, there's more mites that just reproduce again. And the only way that I can see to really do it with the permethrin is to just dip the entire chicken in it, which I can't do this time of year. But the big thing right now is to see if he can survive the night. He was pretty severely hypothermic, so he's had a long recovery just from that itself. I'm just beyond frustrated. This is the third time that I've saved this little chicken's life. Hopefully, I've saved this little chicken's life. I just can't win. It's so frustrating. It is time for the scorched earth approach. Glenn went and picked up some ivermectin, and that's what I'm going to be using on him. Nothing else I do seems to work for these mites, especially long term. As much as I don't want to use medications on our animals, I think it's warranted in this case. All right, I'm going to let him get some rest, and I just want to add a little bit of a disclaimer here. I'm not advocating for the use of ivermectin in chickens. It's actually not officially approved for use in chickens. So if you want to use it on your chickens, do your own research. We did a lot of research. We feel very comfortable with using it, with one caveat, and that is because we're using the pour-on ivermectin, it is designed for much larger animals than a chicken. So you need to do the math and calculate how much to give them based on your chicken's weight, because the dose that you need to give them is really small, like drops or a drop, depending on how much your chicken weighs. And if you do overdose your chicken, it can be very toxic to them and it can even kill them. So just a little disclaimer there, and I don't even know how well it works yet, but it's supposed to work pretty quick, and I reckon I'll probably see something tomorrow if it's doing what it's supposed to do. And hopefully little Finn will be just fine, hopefully.
Call on me. I'll hold you when you cry. Call on me.
I don't know if he's just taking a turn for the worse or what, but he really doesn't look that good tonight. He's even just seems like he's breathing kind of slow. I'm not gonna leave him alone tonight. I just can't.
Right now you're fading to the dark. Right now you lost your every spark. Right now you struggle to let go. Right now pain is all you know. Call on me, I'll hold you when you cry.
I keep bringing him some warm towels out of the dryer every now and then to put on him because his underneath is still kind of damp and I'm worried about his body temperature getting too low still. And then of course I worry about, the ivermectin and, did I do something wrong or I don't know. It's just one of those things where if anything at all goes wrong, I'm probably going to find a way to blame myself for it. I cannot even begin to tell you how unbelievably unlikely it was for Finn to survive last night. I am at a loss for words. I don't know why I become so emotionally invested in these little critters, but it's just in my nature to do so. I'm just thrilled. He's still sleeping, so I'm not bothering him right now. But the good news, the really good news, well, the good news is that he's alive, but the amazing news is that there are tons and tons of dead mites all around where he's been sleeping. So ivermectin is working already, and that's exciting. Come on, guys. Oni! Oni! No!
Be good. Do you want your snack? You have to be good to get your snack.